Hello friends, this is Ganesh. Hope you are doing wonderful. Happy to learn together. In this video, I'm going to explain a screen element called table, which has been used in many UI application to represents the backend data to the user with the help of table. Normally we use in above ALE format. So here we call it as table screen element. There are a few types of tables, grid table, a responsive table, tree table, as per my knowledge. So we have some other smart table also. And today we are going to use grid table to understand how the data is getting populated in the table screen element. So we have different source we can push the data to the table screen element. So one is the hard coded value, maybe the initial time I don't have any data. I want to just see how the tables look like. You can hard code it. The second one is you can get the backend data with the help of OData Service. And third option is sometimes we have OData metadata, but some development is still going on in the backend, so we are not getting the data. We are getting a zero entries. So in that time, what we can do is we can create a mock data on top of the metadata. So it's nothing but if metadata you have 15 fields, it generate data for all the 15 fields. So that is available in WebID tool. So we can able to regenerate randomly. It generates the data based on your design. Design here is metadata. Excuse me, how many fields and what the type of fields. Based on that it generate data for you. And additionally, if you want to add your own data for some testing purpose, we need to add some datas. I want the value less than 100, greater than 100 for the testing purpose. That also you can manually add it along with the generated data. So that is called mock data. So today we are going to see all these three options for this table screen element: hard coded, OData service, backend data, and mock data. Okay, let's get into the slide. So this is the format to design your table, and I need a table tag. I didn't add other properties. It's a very simple single tag, and inside you have to use a columns. The C is small here, and here column it's caps, and this is especially for the header. For column header, sorry, table header. The fields. What are the fields? Each field has its own name, right? So that is going to be added over here, and then items we are going to add what is with the data of the table. Okay, so you cells and text and cells. So this is the tag where you're going to add the data. If it is a hard coded one, this line to be repeated how many data you want. If it is a auditor service, just one what do you call curly braces and then field name. What happens, this automatically repeated for n number of times, depends on the backend data. Okay, and this is a closed one, so an item, yes. And for grid, the API reference library is SAP UI.table.table. Okay, so this is very basic how to design a table that is coming under your view.xml. So even today we are going to use a sample UI5 applications. We are going to start from scratch. We are not going to use any default template. And if it is an OData service, so the aggregate property we have to use to mention the entity type of the OData service. So table items in the aggregate property, and open the curly braces slash and your entity set name, and it automatically comes here. You're going to use the text, and there's another property called text small t equal to entity set field name, which field name you want for the first field, second field, third field. So respectively you have to add those entity type field names in the cells inside the text. Okay, so this is the way which we are going to include your OData service. And yeah, very basic property. We have a lot of property. Just play around and find, depends on your own requirement. So here a very basic property is growing. Yes, true, the table is growing, and the growing threshold is 5. So how many number of records to be displayed in your table? 5, 10, 15, 20. That you can control over here. Okay, so this is in the UI perspective. Suppose this can be handled in the backend, then the value to be coming from the backend side. But as a UI front, they want, I'm going with the static value. So 10, all my pages, the first page has only 10, and whenever the user needs, they can load it. So then you have to use this property called growing threshold. Okay, so a lot of properties are available for an each tag, so just explore it. And label from entity property type. Okay, Suppose I want the label also to be populated from the OData service. I don't want to hard code it here because sometimes there may be a change in the backend. So if that is the case, from UI also I need to change it. I want to adapt whatever is given in the OData service project SEJW property name. So whenever there is an entity property, it's like MATNR, then there is an option called label. We are giving material number. So whatever label they have to mention, I want that to be displayed in UI also. If it is a requirement, yes, that is possible. So it's very simple. I want to get the table, sorry, I want to get the field label from my metadata. Yes, you are able to do it. So for that, you have to use the syntax is nothing but slash hash entity set name. What is your entity set name? Then slash field name, which field name you prefer, and then you have to use at SAP label. So once you mention this in your label, for every label, automatically it's picked whatever is given in the SEJW property level. Okay, so that we'll see, that we're going to see today as well. And yeah, mockup data is like mock data. It's like I'm going to create a mock data. So for that, you need a metadata first. Okay, so meaning you have to include a OData service in your project. Then only you can create a mock data. Otherwise, manually creating it's fine, but it's not easy one. So the easy option is once you have a metadata, right click, you have an option called edit mock data. So it's a window based option. So once you go there, you have an option called random data. There is a button. Okay, so once you click it, the structure is already displayed what based on the metadata. Then it will fill all the data 10 by like 10 rows. Every selection it added 10 rows. So once you add 10 rows, along with that, if you want to add a manual line also, you're able to do it. So once you're done, and then there is a configuration in SAP Web IDE. So go to the configuration and there is a checkbox called mock data. So I want to run my file with the mock data or without mock data. That is one checkbox. So if you select the mock data checkbox, automatically the data is fetching from the mock data, not from your OData service. Even though OData service has valid and it will bring the back data, it won't consider your OData service. If you change the configuration, yes, then it will go and get the value from your OData service. Okay, then yeah, that's it. So we are going to see that table creation and how we are executing with hardcoded OData service and mock data. Okay, let's get into the system. So this is my SAP Web IDE. Okay, I'm getting into my workspace. So here I'm going to create the new workspace. Sorry, new application. Templates, SAP UI5 application, table, next, finish. It's done. So no data has been added. So I will add it quite later. Then go to view. So here I'm going to add tables. Okay. Table. And inside I need columns. Then column. Okay, then that needs a label. Label text equals sales number. Okay, I'll show you the backend OData service also. Then you'll get some idea. So this is the project which we have used last time. So I added one more entity. So same OData service, I'm going to use this entity service for the table, and it has few properties: sales number, item, material, then sales value, delivery, and everything. And you can see the labels. I want to fetch this label to in my UI application. And if you see the artifact DPC extension class, a simple code were written, just get the data from two different tables, VB AP and LAKP for delivery information. this one, sales detail set. Yeah, so I'm just getting the information, 100 records from these two tables and keep it in the entity set. So these are very common. You can just make it ready before running your table screen element with the OData service. Okay, so now go back here. So sales number I want, and then sales item, material, value, delivery. Okay. So now let's go with hard-coded one. So sales item. So we won't give a space also, it's fine. And material. Then value. And finally delivery information. Okay, that's it. So my column is ready. Column heading is ready. So let's see if is anything generated in the view. At least it should come with some header. I saved it and executing here. So it comes now. So the table format, it comes and data is no data because I didn't add anything more there. So just a header is coming. So that's good. So now I'm going to add the rows. So for the rows, I have to start with items. And then inside the items, I need a column list. I didn't use control space bar, it takes time, so you just explore it. What is the documentation for each class or each property? And here I need cells. So inside this I'm going to add the data. So for that I need text, and one more property is text. So here sales order number 100001. So maybe it's not fine, it's fine, it means the proper format, that's okay. And I'm not adding any other property like bold or whatever you want. You can just explore it and do it here. So here the main intention is just populate the data to the table. And then next, this is material one. And then another two is value and delivery number. So value is some decimal values and delivery number start with 450002 something. Okay, so forget about it. Yeah, then let's go here, saved it, refresh. Okay, some issue, let's see. Item, cells closed, text closed, column list item, items also closed. Sorry. So here, this is case sensitive. Save it. Go here. Yep. So now you're getting a data, whatever hard coded is. So if you want one more, just copy this. Sorry, from here, column list item. So this is just for a hard coded values, okay? Save it. I didn't change anything. Maybe for a quick reference, I just changed to 46. Save, go here, refresh. So now it's coming, the data is a hard coded data. So now I'm going to add a OData service to my project, and I'm going to change the hard coded with entity type, entity set name, as well as entity set field name. So for that, you already aware how to do that. Go to manifest.json. So code editor, better you go to the script editor over here and add the OData service. Select the system. So connect with the backend system. It's connected, and my OData service start with ZGI, and this is the one. So previously we used the same, but now it's a different entity set. So one OData service and multiple entity sets. So it's ready now. If you select, it will give whatever information you want. And one thing to be added in the manifest.json, so you have to declare it. So here it is. Okay. So normally by default, I want to keep this as a default one. So you can give the same name, or as a practice, we give the name called main service, and just add it in your model also. So here it is my model, comma. So I want to give as a space. So if it is a space, then it's considered this is going to be the default one. And data source. Okay. Is main service. That's open already. Okay, that's it. So I added here, it's fine, and save it. Then go to view. So here I'm going to use the aggregate property for the table items and slash entity set name. So once you added, you come here and you can able to see your metadata under the local service folder. So here you can able to see the properties, property name, and the label, whatever I have mentioned, right? SAP label and everything over here. And this is my entity type, and I want entity set. And here my entity set. So I want this, copy this, go to your view, paste it in the curly braces. Okay, so that's it. And here you give the name of the entity set field name, sale number, I believe so. Okay, so if you want a confirmation, go here and you can see, yeah, it's a sales number is correct, and the next one is sales item. Copy this and keep it here. Okay, and this is material. So as I know, because it's created by me, so I know the field name, and sales value is nothing but sales value, and delivery is the another one. So pretty quick. So now this is going to get the data from backend, and this is delivery. That's it. So remaining is not required. The next another row is not required. So I can comment it, select the block, right click, toggle block comment. So it's commented the entire, means the whatever I have selected, those blocks. Now here an F5. Yeah, so the data is coming from database. Normally it's 100. Okay, it's display everything, I believe. So what I can do is I'm going to add some data, not data, add some thresholder in the table level. So here, what's the table? Yeah, so it's control space bar, growing, yes, true, and then so here is growing threshold. So I want 10. Okay, save it, go here, refresh. So here it is. It shows only 10 per page. So if you select, it will increasing. So only 77 records. It's a rental system, so we don't have much entry. So I just put it 100 records, but maximum it gives only 77 from the database table. So it's also automatically increasing. Okay, so it depends on that. You can able to use these properties. Now I'm going to create a mock data. So go here, and you have a metadata. Make sure you have metadata created. It's quite easy. So right click, and you can say edit mock data. You'll get an option over here. It's just taken from your metadata, the fields, options, and everything. So here it is. Here, sales details, it not your entity type. This is entity set. You want to select it, and you have option called generate random data or add row. Add row is manual. So this is generate random data. Just select it. it gives some values. So that's for a testing purpose, right? So something is maybe added. So simply added sales number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then everything material. This is a depends on the data type also, it generates a value. So this is for unit purpose. So you have generated with some decimal values also. So it creates a 10, and if you want to add one more row, you can add it. For a testing purpose, I want this to be added in my mock data, so you can add it. So sales number 11, okay, sales item 11, material 11, 1000.90, delivery 11. So that also you're able to make it. So use the data above as a mock data source. Okay, so this is done over here. There is no save option, but the data is ready. So currently you have 11 records. Okay, number 10, number 11. Okay, I can say number 11. Okay. Now, if you click generate random data one more time, it will add 10 more records. So 20 actually 21. Okay. So this is done and click OK. So now how we can identify, how we can ask the system to run my or execute my application with mock data. So now if you press F5, still it's getting the value from OData service, right? So go to the option called run configurations. So this one run dot, this is the one, right? Index.html we are going to do it, and we are selecting inside this project, so it's going to this particular area here, and come, there is an option called run with mock data, and click save and run. Okay, so now if you see, it's automatically for save and run, it automatically triggers. So it just get the data from your mock data information. So 10 of 11. So these are randomly generated and this is added manually. Okay, so this is a way you can able to do we're able to run your application using mock data. Sometimes if some OData service, still there are some development is happening, but you want to test your application using this mock data, you're able to do it. Okay, and if you want to test with OData service, so make sure go run configurations, so take out this and save and run. Okay, so now it's getting data from your OData service like backend system. So the last one is I want this values also to be from the OData level. So meaning, so sales number, but if you see the property name, so over here it's entity type name. There is an option called label. So go to the properties. So this label, so sometimes user requires, how everything is what design, I want that label to be captured in my UI. Yes, that is also you're able to do it. Sales order number, sales order item, so they want. So for that the syntax is, so here you have to add so not here, label, okay, here that is the data. Okay, let it be, because I want the field name also. Sales details set sales number, so it's case sensitive, the field name. Okay, so this is an entity set slash field name slash, sorry, field name number slash at SAP colon label. Okay, I believe the syntax is correct. Let's see. So it should be sales number, refresh, sales order number. Oops, I think I didn't add the curly braces, so it takes as it is. Save it. Comes here, F5, sales order number. So this is coming from your entity type label. Okay, so the remaining all is the hard-coded one, whatever we have done, sales item, everything, but this is coming from your OData service property label. So if you want, just keep this for a other column heading also. Okay, so hope this might just give an idea about how you can have a table and how you connect with the database table from backend data. So just play around, and if you go on ondemand.com, you'll have different type of tables. Responsive table, grid, this is actually we used a grid, and you have tree table, smart table, so everything is fine. But once you understand which is the main property and what is the aggregate to add the OData service, and what are the properties we can able to use to display the value based on the business requirement, then the way of exploring UI5 is pretty simple. Okay, so just go through this. If you have any doubt, please let me know, and thank you so much for your time. See you in the next video. Bye.